So we're at the Dáil today bringing these billboards and this message to the Dáil in the same way, I suppose, as they've been brought around the country for the last 2 weeks and hopefully for the next 2 weeks, because the outcome of this abortion regime so far has been entirely shocking. You know, as the posters and the billboards are saying, 13,243 babies aborted in just 2 years, more than the population of Arklow. You know, bigger than the population of Killarney. These are shocking statistics, but there's almost no public discussion about them at all. And the lack of transparency and the lack of public information around this abortion regime is not serving anybody, least of all mothers and babies. So this is part of the Rethink Abortion campaign. It's being bolstered by door-to-door leaflet drops and by social media messaging. But it was really important to come here today, I think, to remind TDs the abortion review shouldn't be a whitewash. We need to rethink abortion. We need to realise the harm that is being caused by this regime, and we need to offer a better answer than abortion.
This is a really important campaign. It's unbelievable since the legislation was introduced that 13,243 babies have been aborted in this state. When this legislation has been introduced, the government promised that this would be rare, and these figures are anything but rare. That's 20 individual babies every single day, from Monday to Sunday, that are losing their lives as a result of state in this country. It's heartbreaking to see, and I want to commend this campaign for bringing that information to the fore, because you wouldn't see this information anywhere else in the media at the moment. And even the billboards have been put up by the campaign here. It's incredible. We've had pro-choicers and pro-abortion campaigners complain that this information is being made widely known. And there's a real feel of Eastern Europe here in relation to suppression of information so that people don't know what's happening, that life could go on, but you know, on the underbelly of the country, this horrendous thing is happening. And you know, I would say to people that who are angered at this, who are annoyed at this, that this type of thing warrants an in-person action. It warrants activism. You know, the days of spending time on Twitter and Facebook and tapping away and complaining about things, those days are over. If people want to change this, get off their backsides, get active, get moving now, and start to help the campaign end this horrendous law.
I think it's shameful and an awful disaster and catastrophe that we have arrived at a point where 13,243 babies have been aborted over 2 years. It's absolutely shameful, but it also calls out and shows that people in Ireland were deceived by the leadership at the time of the government. We know that Minister Harris told us all that it would be safe, legal and rare if abortion was passed in the referendum. But we know today that that is actually far from the case. We have a crisis here, and we have a barbaric situation also where babies are being born alive. In 2019, it's reported in a UCC study that there were 100 babies born alive during an abortion procedure. It just shows that we are at a very serious point here, and that we need to put an end to this. What about the protecting the rights of the baby, the unborn baby? Surely that's something that we need to think about in society. And certainly myself and the other pro-life advocates in here will continue to do all we can to call out this barbarity and to call out the deceit of government who did mislead and did deceive the Irish people.